We, of course, passed through crossover day yesterday, which was a big day for the legislature because it put a lot of bills at the front of the line and a lot of bills got left behind and will not see action this year. The number one issue, I think, at this point, when you look at what we're doing here in the General Assembly and what's going on in our state economy, are the jobs bills that were passed by the House yesterday. We know this is one of their top priorities, and we want this to be one of our top priorities, and we expect that the two jobs bills may even be enhanced during this process, and we do expect those two jobs bills to move through the Senate side very quickly and to the governor for his signature as soon as possible. We consider the economic recovery in the state of Georgia our number one priority, even taking precedence over the budget. So those bills, we want to commend the House on the great leadership on doing this. We're not aware of any other state that is taking these type of actions. There may be, but we are going to press forward with what the House has given us, and again, if we can enhance it, we'll do that. Yesterday, the Senate also addressed the issue of members who have not properly filed their taxes and set forth a process whereby if you do not file your tax returns in a timely manner, that the Commissioner of the Department of Revenue will be able to take that information and give that to the Joint Ethics Committee for the Ethics Committee to begin looking at who hasn't filed their taxes and if there is any action necessary to take against those members, either the House or Senate, who have not filed their tax returns. A very good bill and a long line of bills this year that has passed that helps protect property owners passed yesterday in Senate Bill 240. This sets up an alternative mechanism for someone who wants to appeal their property tax assessment, and it puts the government and the taxpayer on equal footing, which we think is extremely important. Oftentimes, the complaints we get is that if you want to appeal your tax assessment, ultimately you're facing an uphill battle. And the time necessary to do that and all of the lengthy process the government puts you through is very troublesome, and consequently a lot of people don't take that action. This would set up an alternative process that would allow that taxpayer to almost immediately have their situation adjudicated, and we believe it puts them on equal footing with the government. Senate Bill 169, of course, was a measure that received a lot of discussion yesterday, a very difficult issue when you're talking about regulating how far science can go, what moral boundaries will we not cross. And in Senate Bill 169 yesterday, we set forth some very reasonable limits that bans human cloning in the state of Georgia. It bans the mixing of human and animal cells. I know that sounds sick to many, but there are some researchers who apparently are looking into that. We don't want that in Georgia. We want to send that message loud and clear. And it says that if we're going to create human cells, those need to be created for the purposes of creating a pregnancy. We think we're on solid moral ground there, and that's exactly what the state ought to be promoting. And then finally, yesterday morning, prior to session, the Senate moved out of the Senate Finance Committee the transportation funding package that is exactly what the Senate passed out back on day 12. And we hope that this is another step in the process of finally addressing the problem with transportation funding in Georgia. But we would like to do this in conjunction with the governance package. We would like to have the governance package and the financing go hand in hand. The governor has made it very clear, and many of us tend to agree, that just financing a broken system is not the way to go. That in fact, if we can fix the system and fix the financing at the same time, that's probably the best we can do with this situation.